Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Cole. It's Sunday, August 11th, and this will be the message for week 7 for Humanities 2333 for the summer 2024 term, the second 7 weeks. Everybody, I may get one more message out just before the final exam, but this will be either the last or second to last video message that I send you. What we have on the schedule this week, the second written assignment is due tomorrow. Most of you will be seeing this message tomorrow, Monday, although I'm recording it on Sunday. Some of you may see it today. Some of you will see it Monday, the due date. So I hope that was something challenging that gave you some food for thought. I corresponded with a couple of people who had not submitted assignment 1. And that's fine because you can drop 1 grade, but you want to be sure to submit the second assignment if you did not submit the first one. That's a couple of people to whom that applies. Okay. All right. Then Tuesday and Wednesday we have our last discussion, which is over life decisions, and we refer you to our class notes and one article online that might be helpful to you, and that discussion will run Tuesday and Wednesday. Then the final will be up on the course website, and I'm going to leave it open for 48 hours, Friday and Saturday. That's the 16th and 17th, I believe. Then grades are due Sunday, so I really need to have everyone's work by the weekend. No later than the first thing Sunday morning to get everything graded and grades turned in by Sunday afternoon, if there's any late work you were trying to get in. And then Monday the 19th, the fall term begins. So we've got a few things to do this week to wind everything up for the term. Written assignment, discussion, and then the exam at the end of the week. Everybody, on the syllabus for this week, we have just a couple of sets of class notes. No textbook assignment for those class notes, I don't believe. Let me also mention, everybody, I had sent a message out about that little reading that I posted from Scott Peck, author of The Road Less Traveled. I believe what you've got is just a few brief excerpts from the book, The Road Less Traveled. And it slipped my mind to mention that earlier. It really goes with Units 9 and 10 at the beginning of the midterm material, the final exam material, right after the midterm. But take a look at that if you have a few minutes. It should just take a few minutes. I think that will illuminate and offer some good food for thought with the material that we were trying to talk about in Units 9 and 10. We have Units 15 and 16 on the syllabus this week to wind up the course. So we're at the end of the course. I like to talk about the end, that is our mortality. So we have several issues about mortality to discuss. Philosophers have liked to kick around the question, is death a harm to the person who is dead? After all, once the individual is dead, he or she is no longer around to suffer the harm. But you could argue that it's still a harm in the sense of opportunities foregone. So you'll see some material about that issue in the class notes. Also, would it be desirable to have a much, much longer lifespan or immortality? I put this question to some students decades ago, and one of them responded, well, in what condition? Well, assuming you were in decent physical condition, not suffering from some of the things we associate with advanced age, it's worth discussing. Even then, some philosophers believe it wouldn't necessarily be a good thing. It might take much of the spice out of life and render life boring. So you look at what philosophers have to say about that. What about the significance of end-of-life experiences that people have reported? Near-death experiences. People have nearly died and recovered. Sometimes they have experiences that they take to be evidence of a life after death. Okay, so is that the case or not? What significance, if any, do those experiences have? And finally, what would be a good death? Perhaps these days some people suffer good deaths and others do not. What would a good death consist of? Then the last set of lecture notes, everybody, lecture 16, is about Worldviews and Philosophies of Life, to try to, once again, bring the course to an end. Now, the main alternatives as far as overarching worldviews would be theism and naturalism. Either you believe in a supernatural reality or you believe that life ultimately, or existence ultimately, is material. We also mentioned the traditions of transcendentalism and humanism, which are worth contemplating. Maybe attempts, maybe not entirely successful, to overcome the chasm between theism and naturalism. Now, philosophies of life, everybody, I use the term loosely sometimes as the part of the title for this course. Strictly speaking, the way philosophers use the term, the subfield of philosophy of life, we might say, consists of a dispute over the question, should you or should you not be a nihilist? Okay, should you be a nihilist or not? A nihilist would be someone who believes that there's really nothing that makes life worth living. There's nothing that gives ultimate purpose to your life. And you might ask, why would you want to be a nihilist? Well, it's not really a question of whether you want to or not. If you were a philosopher and thought the alternatives to nihilism were not credible, you might feel obligated to be a nihilist. But the alternative would be a purpose in some way, shape, or form that gave meaning to your life. And the class notes give a couple of different ways in which we could try to make sense of that. So those are some good things to look at, I think, to wind up the term. I sent you a link to the Crash Course Philosophy episode about what is a good life, which might be worth taking a look at. In any case, everybody, I will get an email or perhaps a video message out before the end of the term. We have the written assignment due tomorrow, Monday the 12th, a discussion on Tuesday and Wednesday the 13th and 14th, and the final exam on Friday and Saturday the 16th and 17th. Remember, if you have not done the first written assignment, you need to be sure that you complete the second one. If you're running late, contact me. Otherwise, everybody, I hope the term has been a useful, beneficial, eye-opening experience for you these 7 weeks when we've had to try to cram in all this material. Contact me with any questions, problems, or issues through the course website or at david.cole@opsu.edu. Study hard, good luck, and we hope you have enjoyed it, and hope that you will be able to go ahead and finish the work up and bring this to a close successfully. Thank you so much. Contact me if needed. Take it easy.